And how's it looking on your end, Kristen?
I just saw the live pop up on the Zoom, and let's see.
Okay.
All right, I see us. We are good.
I don't see us yet, but I'm here.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Hey. Yes, it just popped up on the Softflex page right now.
I got it. I am going to see if I can share it to the TierraCast page.
Awesome.
We are super excited to have special guest Tracy Proctor today.
Hi.
Yay.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Sarah.
There
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Hey, we're happy to have you. We've been meeting with some of our favorite bead people, and you're on the top of the list for sure.
Good to hear.
Not only are you such an inspiration with all your jewelry making, but you're actually our neighbor in Sonoma County, so you get like high up preference for that.
Awesome, thank you. I was wondering if you were going to mention that. I was, because you guys are really only about a half an hour away from us.
Right, which is unusual in the bead world because it's such a small niche world. You don't always find very many somewhat big companies so close together. I mean, we're both still small companies, but I guess for the beading industry, we'd be considered larger.
We're big little companies.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, for sure. So how long have you been with TierraCast? I know it's been a pretty long time now.
It's just over 14 years. I started with the company in 2006.
And they've been around since sometime in the 70s, I want to say.
1978. Didn't you guys right around the same time?
Yes.
Right?
Early 90s for Softflex. Yeah,
okay.
We're a little bit younger. Yeah.
It seemed like you guys have been around as long as we have.
It feels like a long time, for sure.
So this will be 42 years. Actually.
Oh, wow.
It's almost October, so it's just 42 years.
And the entire time it's been jewelry making components. Is that right?
Well, when the company started, it was a job shop. So Stephen Tierra started doing casting for customers. So jewelry makers would come in and they did more than just jewelry stuff. They did like brass elevator lettering and all kinds of really unusual.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they were a job shop for a while, and then they started casting for Laurel Birch, and that went on for several years. And when she left or took her business elsewhere, I don't know what happened to her. After we had stopped casting for Laurel Birch, that's when the company started producing our own line of products.
I see.
Yeah, so I think I might be totally misstating the date. I think it was like 92-ish.
Yeah. So are you guys fully back in your facility, or how have you had to change with, dealing with COVID?
It turned out early on, and this may have been the same for you guys, I'm not sure. When things started, we shut the company down. And then as management was looking through all these rules, they discovered, we can stay open on a basic level and sell existing inventory, but we can't manufacture. So that's what we did for a few months. I was furloughed. They didn't have much of a need for a marketing person during this time. So I was furloughed, but kind of a skeleton crew stayed on. Management, Julie stayed on so she could be in touch with customers, and packaging and inventory crew. So that was about it. And then we were able to actually come back and start manufacturing. I think it was early June.
Okay.
Or mid-June maybe.
And now you have a lot to catch up on, I assume. It's probably been tough.
I might again be misstating this, but I think we're caught up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know the things I really wanted to add this month were things that we were waiting on for a long time, but they're back now.
Well, if we're not completely caught up, we're pretty close to it.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's really good to hear. And so anything else that you want to add about just living in times of COVID?
It's been weird. It's just been so
Yeah,
weird.
I know.
I've mostly been coming back to the shop every day, but sometimes, like last week, I worked the entire week from home, which as long as
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making a lot of jewelry for some reason, that's fine. All of my supplies,
Mm-hmm.
you can see behind me,
You need them.
my cabinets of parts. So if I'm in a situation where I'm needing all my supplies, then I'm in the shop. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes if I'm just doing computer work and stuff, I can work from home. And we used to have a monthly meeting where we all got together in one room. We're not doing that these
Mm-hmm.
days. Um,
Yeah, I miss those things. I keep
yeah,
thinking about with the holidays coming up how and I hit my camera. With the holidays coming up, how hard it's going to be not being able to have those kinds of gatherings that we would normally
right,
have.
right.
But we'll have to figure out new and improved ways of doing things, or at least new and weird ways of doing things that will be memorable.
Right. Hold on, I
Yeah.
I see that you
lost you
have,
guys.
oh, are we back?
I left the screen so I could shut my email program down because it was making dings every time something came in. So
Oh,
Oh.
hopefully,
we
I
can
didn't
see
mess it up.
you.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I can see you
Yeah,
now.
we
it's
can
okay.
see you. I was going to say, you look like you have some nice color coding behind you in your supplies.
I just recently redid everything because every so often, every few years, um, we discontinue inventory. Things that don't sell as
Mm,
well. So I have to keep these cabinets up to date as much as possible. Otherwise, I end up using something in a piece of jewelry, and we end up taking a picture of it and posting it somewhere. And whoops, there's a discontinued part in there. So
mm.
I just did a big round of cleaning out and relabeling, and it is a good color coding system, different categories of parts in every cabinet. And yeah, it works pretty good.
Yeah,
And it
it
makes
looks
nice
nice and
background.
organized.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It looks pretty behind you. we have about um, we have about 50 people watching right now, and there's quite a conversation going on about she sheds and beading storage units in a she
Oh,
shed. So I wanted to
Oh.
sort of point out your organization.
I saw these she sheds. I have seen them at a pinners conference when we were doing. We did some pinners conference work. Was it just last year? It's a blur. And that
Hmm.
she sheds was a big thing.
Interesting. I haven't seen. I mean, I've heard of a she shed, but I haven't seen
Hmm.
seen one in person.
Hmm.
That sounds neat.
Yeah,
Are
a
there
few
any
people are
other
saying it's their dream.
It's a
to
dream.
have a she shed?
Yeah,
That
yes,
sounds
for sure.
lovely. Especially right now in quarantine with my 3 children, I could really use a she shed.
You could use a she shed
You really
I could
could.
definitely use a she shed.
with soundproof walls and a door that locks,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
and a
I
liquor
love a door
cabinet,
that locks.
and an espresso machine, and a liquor cabinet.
Yeah, you'd be totally
That
set.
is a dream come true. Well, we're so happy to have Tracy here today because she is an expert on all things TierraCast. As she mentioned, she's worked there for a very long time and has been really kind of a trademark person that you would see at a trade show if you went to a bead show, often showcasing lots of different ways of using TierraCast products in really unique and special ways. So we're really excited because we're launching 3 new TierraCast items on our website today. They're all from their newer hammertone collection. When did this collection launch? Was it
Oh,
earlier this year or
well,
was it last year?
no, the original hammertone parts and many of the ones you've brought on, those are from our original launch. So that would have been,
Oh,
again, I don't know all the dates of all the launches, but that was
sure.
earlier in our product line.
Hmm.
So that those original rings and the original clasp, the ellipse and the square,
Yeah.
uh,
Yes.
those
I
have
guess I was
been,
thinking
yeah,
more of the daggers and the spacer beads
yes,
and the
we,
magnet clasps that we're bringing in today. Those are all
yep,
from the newer version,
yep,
I think.
we created this new. group of parts.
Ended.
It was our Tucson launch, so it was early February.
Just this year, it's so weird how this year does not feel normal.
Yeah.
Like anything that happened before COVID feels like a lifetime ago, even if it was just 6 months ago. Right. I mean, it really is. It's so strange. But yeah, so these are pretty much brand new parts for TierraCast, period. We chose 3 that we thought would be a really nice addition to what we are already carrying. So I'm going to aim down so that we can take a look at what those are. And but we carry quite a few different hammertone items. Like Tracy was saying, we use the rings and we have a few different clasps and things as well. But the newer parts that we're adding today, and I think these went up on the website, right, Kristen? We were kind of rushing there at the end to get them all up.
Yes. All the new products are now available on the website. Okay. So you can find them on the homepage at softluxcompany.com. And then I also shared a link in the chat right to the TierraCast, all of the products that we carry from them.
Awesome. So we've got these new magnet clasps. These are super strong. They come in 4 different metal tones, but they are the strongest magnets I have ever felt. And the first time I grabbed one earlier this year, I was like, these are finally a magnet clasp that I can get behind. Because they are so good. They're really, really good.
That makes all the difference. It makes all the difference to have a really strong magnet.
Right. And a good tip for those, Sarah, opening and closing them is to slide the tips away from each other. Instead of trying to pull them apart, just slide them.
Slide to the side.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, even photographing them, I took them out of the bag. I have a bag of 8 of them. And I was like, how am I going to photograph a shot of all of these together? Because they're so like, even if you put them pretty far away, they will pull towards each other. Yeah. So I eventually today figured out that you can line them up if you do it just right. So you can look at all 4 of them together.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, those are pretty cool.
What we should have done for customers probably was send them empty ones for photography purposes so that they can
that's smart.
Them.
Yeah, it worked out okay. I figured it out. It just took a little bit of engineering.
Well, and you have to be careful not to inadvertently steal things when you're wearing a bracelet with a magnetic clasp.
Right.
Yes, silverware.
Because they're so strong. Yeah, it's true.
When you walk past something, it just attaches to you. Gina's saying she's lost a few bracelets with weak magnets. Yeah, I can see that would be an issue if the magnets are not strong enough. So it's really important to note that these are strong magnets in these clasps.
They are. And they're just so nice when you're wearing a bracelet to not have to fidget with a clasp sometimes and just have it magnetized. So I'm really excited to have a good magnet clasp that's really quality made. These TierraCast parts are made in the USA. They're actually made in Sonoma County. So they're really good quality parts. And that's pretty exciting. So next up is our new spacer beads. And they come in the same 4 metal tones. So kind of a bright silver, a bright gold, an antiqued copper, and an antiqued brass. So lots of fun
these colors
stuff.
Are so luscious. I just love them. I think you guys do a wonderful job with your casting and the colors that you choose. And I believe that they are all lead-free. Is that correct, Tracy?
That is true. That is true. Our pewter is lead-free.
And last but not least, I used these in a project earlier this year and just sort of fell in love with them.
Yeah,
they are metallic daggers. Yeah. So you often see this shape in like a glass bead, like a glass check bead, and it mimics that shape. But these are real metal and they're really lovely, and they have that same hammer tone effect that we have in many of our other products from TierraCast. So all these things can work together in one design, whether you're doing the hammer tone rings or one of the beautiful ellipse clasps that we already sell. They all kind of work in unison.
And what's fun about the daggers too, Sarah, is that I was checking my earrings to see if there was any glass daggers on there. They are the same shape and size as a kind of
check
commonly available check glass daggers. So they work alongside them very nicely.
Yeah, I've been dreaming about a design with these. Mm-hmm. Very excited to get to play with them.
Check those out.
Ooh.
Oh, you have to, beautiful.
Make sure you talk so we can see you.
Oh, yeah, these, I didn't make these myself, but I stole them off of the display counter today and just for this video. So
I'm really curious if you could hold that up again. Can you tell us about the ring that's used there? I know it's not a part we carry, but I'm curious if people would want us to carry that ring, because that's a new part too, right?
It is. It was one of the items in that hammertone launch in February, and we call it a stitch around ring, or a stitch around hoop actually. And there's two sizes. This is the smaller one, I think. Yes, this is the smaller one, and the other one, this one's maybe 13 millimeters, and maybe the other size is 15, a little bit bigger, not too much. And what's interesting, we made them specifically for beading around, and so there's this little accent bead right next to the loop at the top, and it's made just to be about the size of a size 8 seed bead, so that you could just stitch around it and kind of have that bead blend in with the design. So that was the intention behind these, and they're a really nice, that hammertone texture comes in all of the finishes you were just talking about.
Mm-hmm. And so I guess viewers, if that's something you want to see Softflex carry, this would be a great time to let us know that you would like us to carry that. Or any of the TierraCast parts. We're always open to hearing what you like. And if you really like something, maybe we can get it into our inventory.
Yeah. There's a teardrop shape as well. We did the hoop, and then we also did a teardrop shape in 2 sizes. So they're just fun for embellishing. They really, you can wire wrap around them and bead around them. And I think they're selling very well. We really love them.
They're really pretty, especially in that beautiful earring you're wearing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I think a teardrop sounds a really fun addition to what we have in our collection right now too. Yeah. Jean would love to see a pattern for those, and Julie say they're gorgeous. Jean says they're awesome too. Yeah, really beautiful. So the difference between that and the ring is it's got a little loop on the top, correct? So it's got the faux bead kind of in front of the loop, I think is what I saw.
Underneath the loop, right. So
gotcha. Cool.
I also did a wire wrapping technique. I mean, the traditional older rings work great for those embellishments too. You just don't have the loops at the top.
Yeah.
Right, but I wire wrapped around this one, and then just created a little bail with the wire. So those older rings, they work great for this type of work too.
Yeah, we've done a little bit of that. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I think it would be hard to, and I'm sure that's why you created it with the loop at the top. If you're using a thread to like bead weave around it, then it's hard to connect to your finding at the top. And that would make sense that you need a connector at that point.
Well, and sometimes some people just struggle with making that loop, and that just takes one more thing out of you having to create. And you can go around it and have a nice, perfect loop at the top. So I can see where that would come in handy.
Yeah. So Kristen, do we have any questions or comments that we need to address before we move along? Tracy is going to show us a really great earring idea, and I'm going to play around with these new parts as well and see what I come up with.
We don't have any questions at the moment. Some people are just saying they really love the ring component. They would totally buy these and that they're beautiful. Yeah, so just kind of nice comments like that are coming through. But if anyone has any questions for us or for Tracy, just put them in the comments and I'll make sure to bring it up to Tracy and Sarah.
Yay.
Awesome.
Sarah, knowing that you guys didn't bring those parts in, I didn't pull any to have on hand to show you guys. So sorry about that. It would
Oh,
have been
that's
nice to
okay.
show you.
Oh, it's okay. We're loosey goosey here. You have one on your ear.
There you go.
That works for us. Yeah.
Representative.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Tracy, if you want to show us your earring idea, I think we could probably go ahead and work on that next.
I thought the last time I did a Zoom thing with cameras, I thought that I could just flip to my other camera.
Oh, well, I don't know about another camera.
I'm
you
not
can flip down.
seeing anything. There totally was a.
Are you on a mobile device right now, Tracy?
I'm on a laptop, and I have a second camera. I have a webcam attached.
Oh, interesting. So yeah, I'm not sure about that setup.
I should be able to just toggle, but I'm not seeing the link for it, which is unfortunate.
I know on the Zoom, I don't know if you would do it from the Zoom screen, but if you touch it and you look in the top left corner, you might see the little toggle. That's where I see it, but yours might be different.
I see meeting information, but I don't see a toggle. Let's see here.
I am.
Oh, I found it. So I should be able to, I think.
Oh, there you are.
Woo! Okay.
Yay. All this new technology we've had to learn in the last few.
I know. Yeah. And it's amazing how people have risen to the challenge, I'm telling you.
It is amazing.
So I had pulled some samples of stuff I knew you guys were carrying, but since you already showed them, you don't need to do that. So what let's get rid of this if we can. What I was imagining after we talked, was it just yesterday, Sarah? I don't even know.
I don't either.
I really, really love the colored cords that you guys have, and I have like a whole spool. Look at this. All of
Whoa, nice. They're so fun.
I know. So I chose kind of the fallish. You guys call it citrine, but it's almost like a little pumpkin-y color.
Yeah.
So I chose that, and I just wanted to do a simple little. How's the focus? Is it okay?
Yeah.
I wanted to do a simple little teardrop.
The focus looks great.
Using some size 8 seed beads and those daggers and the colored wire. So it's a pretty simple design. Sarah, something that I have on hand in my in my arsenal here in the shop is I have your crimping pliers, your ones that make the little kind of, you have a name for them, magic crimpers, maybe?
Yeah, they're the magical crimpers.
Yeah, but I don't have any of your crimp beads.
What? I need to send you some.
Well, we make our own, so I have ours on hand, and I don't think they work. I think they're a little bit too big for. So they don't seem to work as well. So I am just going to use a traditional pair of crimping pliers.
Oh, that's fine. Don't worry.
Although I really
sell both.
I really love the idea of the
magical crimper.
Yes. So what I've got here is I've strung on a crimp bead, 3 seed beads, dagger, seed bead, dagger, seed bead, dagger. Oops. Should be 3 crimp beads there, not 4. And then, I'm sorry, 3 seed beads, and then a second crimp bead. And then to secure those, if you can see up here at the top, there's another crimp bead that I'm going to thread both sides of my wire through from opposite directions. And then I can pull those wires away from each other. And then I can, keep pulling until I have that hoop as small or as big as I want it. So this one's really not all that big. So I'm going to keep pulling. Maybe a little bit smaller so they'll actually match. Matching earrings are good, right? All right. And so then I'm going to do that same thing up at the top, except I'm going to use 2 crimp beads. And the reason I'm using 2 crimp beads up at the top is so that when I attach it, I secure them with a little bit of space in between. And that way, when I attach my ear wire, it has something to sit in between and the earring. For one thing, there's not just a crimp bead on one side, it's like more balanced. And then it just kind of keeps it all centered.
That's a great tip. I know that Sarah does that quite a few times when she's working. Also, she'll put sometimes two crimps and covers over them so they sort of fit in between
it works.
the ear wire.
So then I just need to keep cinching that down until it's all even. And it's being kind of sticky. Either that or my hands are slippery because I put lotion on them right before I knew I was going to have them on video.
I am laughing over here, but I'm being quiet so they can see you. Just so
Good to know. All right, so then I'm going to even that up a little bit more. And then I can go in and crimp those. And this is the traditional style of crimping. I really am intrigued by those ones you guys have, Sarah. So I do need to get my hands on some of your crimp beads. And I'm going to test that.
So what size crimps do you guys make, Tracy?
Ours are 2 millimeters long, brass, and they're nice and sturdy. So the walls are kind of heavy, and I can't make them turn into a little ball like the magic crimpers do. So
yeah, they're just. Right. I know that the magical crimpers, she made them the size perfect for our crimps. So maybe there's just a slight difference.
Yep. Ours, I think, might just be a little bit bigger. All right. So now I have this part secured up there. I'm going to adjust the bottom loop a teeny bit. I didn't want to adjust it that much. She's laughing again.
Yeah.
There. Okay. Now this one, it's fine. It's not going to move around too much, but I am going to, so that these beads down here stay in place, I'm actually going to crimp those a little bit too. I'm just going to use the front notch of the pliers, and I need to make sure that I'm crimping them so that everything's going to be centered. I don't want things getting secured and then having them be uneven. So I'm trying to be careful about that. And I hope you guys can see everything okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing you great.
All right, so that's it. Oops, that one's not very secured. It's just still flopping around. So let's try it again. Does somebody have a bird?
Probably my children in the background.
Oh.
I'm going to guess. Because they're always home now.
Okay, so that's all. Everything's all secured, and I'm just going to pop an ear wire on there.
It looks great.
Yeah, so it's just a simple little design. And what I loved about it was the potential to use those colored wires of yours, you know.
Right. It would change indefinitely using all the different colors.
And
Each
all the
one would
different
feel different.
seed beads. I mean, you have a million options. And then I also did the
Yeah.
same kind
and
of
all the
idea.
different metal types.
Yes.
So there's just so many. I mean, you could just make a gazillion different types with that pattern.
Uh-huh.
I did the same kind of idea using your craft wire too. I used a 22 gauge craft wire.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, the fun thing about that is that will hold that round shape. This will hang a little bit more of a teardrop shape, but the wire will hold a round shape. So.
Ooh, nice. And there's a lot of options and different colors for that too. You said you used the 22 gauge?
I used the 22 gauge, yeah.
Great.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
I love them. I love that citrine and the orange beads together. Definitely very fall and pumpkin-y, but not
shooting for. Yeah.
Yeah, but totally a summer color too. Like you could go either way. So I think the gold helps with that, gives it that like summer shimmer.
Yeah, maybe.
Esther says, Esther says, great idea to crimp each side of your beads so that they stay in place.
Yeah. I do like the idea of this one with the brass daggers too, Kristen. I think that that would even make it give it more of a fall feel.
Totally. Yes, that does change it. See how just that simple metal change would give it a different look. I am in love with your antique oxidized brass. I work with that particular metal a lot.
I do like
really
it too.
Pretty.
Yeah. I'm not usually I don't usually wear the bright metal so much. I like the antique silver and the antique brass for myself personally. Ooh, I'm noticing the one that Sarah's got there with mixing all the metals.
Yeah, I was playing around and I think I'm going to put together this quick little necklace for us. And then I was working on a matching bracelet. Because this is the best part about these beading parties is we get to bead together. So while you're beading, I'm beading, and we both get to enjoy that that time, which is really neat. Before I do that, though, I do want to make sure, I don't know if we said it out loud. I know I posted it when I posted the video. All TierraCast on the website this week is 15% off at softflexcompany.com. So all of the new products, and then all of the products that we've had in stock for a little while now, like these fantastic end caps that work really well with our knitting spool products. Look how well they fit on the ends.
We've been enjoying watching these knitting, wire knitting projects with the Softflex wire.
With the end caps?
Yep.
Yeah, they turned out so nice. It's like a perfect fit for this type of a design, which is great. And of course, we have the ellipse clasps in multiple different metals. We've got these fantastic rings, and we have them in more than one size. I think we have a sample here that has all three sizes. Let's see. So we have them in 3 different sizes, and you can work with all 3 of them together if you get them all at the same time. And they come in all the different metal tones as well, which is handy. And then one of my favorite clasps, this little toggle, I use it all the time.
I love that one.
It's so handy. I actually have it
on.
Yeah, have it on my bracelet today too with matching cones. So we also have these little cones. So lots of different options, many of them intermix with each other, and you can find them all on the website right now, 15% off. So I'm going to, go ahead.
Cones.
I wanted to show. I just wanted to show real fast. I use the ellipse as a little focal. So this is the toggle, but I used it as a focal point in this design last week.
That's awesome.
And
that one's on YouTube, right?
That one is on YouTube, yeah. So I was telling people, if you're like me and you lose parts and pieces and you tend to you accidentally lose the other half of your toggle, you can totally use it.
Brilliant.
No, I still have it, but
and I want
never
to
but
know.
I tend to lose little pieces.
I want to show you guys because Sarah showed something with the cones, and the beaded tassels are just so on trend. And this cone is actually the new bigger one, Sarah, that came out with the February launch. And what you guys have is the slightly smaller other one. So, but still would work for these techniques.
Beautiful.
That's so pretty.
I absolutely love that.
I foresee
so I'm going to
Kristen
show you
making something like that soon.
Well, I'm wearing these right now, and they are
tassels.
They have the
soft flex tassels.
Yeah, they're little.
Yeah.
These are soft flex tassels. Yeah, and I just sort of used that as a little cone. But I had that type of a design is what inspired it, and I tried it with soft flex instead of the beads.
Perfect.
But I love how long those were. That was like duster earrings. Really, really cool.
Very glamorous.
And they were ombre, right? So they were going from light to dark. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so I put together a little necklace using the daggers, and I wanted to show you how you can intermix the metal tones. So you don't have to just go straight with the same metal tone. Even the earrings that Tracy just did, if you wanted to do like a bright gold in the center and maybe the brass on either side, or you want to mix silver and gold together, feel free to take that artistic license to mix and match. And especially if you're using a neutral bead, like these black beads from our mask lanyard kit, it works out, I think, fairly well. So I'm going to start off by just unclipping my bead stopper, which is super handy when you're doing video. Keeps me from losing my beads. I'm going to actually clip it onto my bracelet bead so I don't lose those while I'm doing this. And I'm just going to take an extra little slice of wire so that I can string it into the crimp tube. This is a 2x2 millimeter soft flex crimp tube in gold filled. I decided to do gold findings since I centered the gold. I thought that would kind of pull it together, and then I'll do a nice bright gold maker's clasp in the back as well. So I've got my extra little guy of wire in there. And these are the pliers that Tracy was talking about, the magical crimping pliers. The crimp tube fits inside of the plier just perfectly. I put the extra wire in so that there's just a little bit more nylon for the crimp tube to hold on to. We have really thick walled crimp tubes, and they're really a great size for these magical crimpers. But you still need a good deal of nylon for that crimp tube to really grip into. To get a really nice solid hold. Then I'm going to flip it. So now I've first compressed what looks kind of like a little square. And now I'm going to flip it on its side, and I'm going to compress in those little four corners. Same slot.
Yours sound very similar. Our print tube sounds similar. It could be user error on my part, but I'm just not doing it right.
Yeah, maybe we can swap crimps.
We could do that.
You send me some, I send you some.
Perfect.
Okay, so I go around it several times till it becomes like a little round metal ball, and then I can clip my wire off on both sides. And you want to get in nice and close, but be really careful not to cut your wire. And that can be tricky to do when you're not close up to your face. And I'm going to do that on both sides, get as close as I can. And then I can go over to the other side and do crimping too. I have just a little tiny steel wire sticking out, so I'm going to make sure that's gone. All right, and now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, taking what's left of my scrap wire and stringing it through my crimp tube. Now here I want to kind of bend my design a little bit so that I leave enough natural play that it's not too tight when I let go. If you crimp it as tight as you can here, then there won't be a lot of bend or give in the design. So try to pull it together when you're crimping, and that way you'll give it some natural flexibility. So although this wire is very flexible, it's still a stainless steel product. So if you pull it too tight, it's going to be inflexible, just by nature of the beads being so close together. And
so I was slow on the pickup, Sarah. What you did was you used a little piece of extra wire to take up some extra room in. Oh, gotcha.
And then I trim it off on both sides.
Right.
It doesn't really affect you when you're like attaching a clasp, but if you're doing a single strand, it can be kind of tricky to get it to really hold down in the wire.
Yep.
So this helps.
Good solution.
And then all that's left is just to add my clasp on the back. So I'm going to do a quick measure on myself here and decide where I'm going to put it. And grab a couple more crimp tubes if I can get to them. And I'm using this bright gold on the back end too.
Very balanced.
Thank you. Oh, and I forgot to say what color I'm using, I guess. I'm using the antique brass soft flex with this. So we have lots of different metallic colors. So this is kind of giving it more of a fall color, I would say. But if you went with the bright gold or bright silver or even the copper color, it's going to make it feel different as well. Or change out the beads to be a different color, like a turquoise or a red. It's going to feel very different than it does here. So
that necklace design you're working on, Sarah, and the earrings that Tracy did are a beautiful match together too.
Oh, that's true.
It could be, yeah. For a second too, while Sarah was working on that, I thought that the pendant was going to be a teardrop shaped pendant. And so I was intrigued by that. And then as she kept working, I realized, oh, okay.
Oh, I see. So I strung my crimp tube, I strung my clasp, and I'm going to go back into my crimp tube. So you thought I was going to make a pendant with these guys?
That's what I saw.
Like down here?
Exactly.
Oh, because when I was crimping it. Oh, that would be kind of fun.
Right.
Yeah.
That
you could crimp it in place.
You could crimp it and then just have the wire running up the back. That would be really neat too.
I love it. So many fun ideas with these products. It's going to be really fun to play with them. Did you get yours yet, Kristen?
I did not, but I should have it. I should have a package here before my Monday video. So I'm hoping to use the new products on my Monday YouTube video on Softflex Company's YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. I think they should definitely be here by Monday. Hopefully, the postal service, sometimes is a little iffy right now. So
yeah, a little slow sometimes.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
For sure.
Becky loves your tri-color, Sarah.
Oh, good. Thank you.
We did have a question about the knitting wire. So Jean, the knitted wire that Sarah showed earlier is actually knitted soft flex beading wire using the knitting spool tool. And we have lots of videos on how to do that on the website at softflexcompany.com. And then we also have quite a few at Softflex's YouTube channel. I'll grab a link to the webpage so you can see what we're talking about.
Have you guys done any of the knitting with your craft wire, with the finer gauge of your craft wire? Yeah?
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit of a different technique, and it can be a little more challenging for someone to learn. But once you get it, it's really fun, and it can be really, really neat. I think this one was done on a kumihimo with our craft wire, but
it
kind of is a similar look.
Right.
And this is a much thicker gauge. This is like 20 gauge on a Kumihimo, I think. So, but similar look, like braiding craft wire looks very similar. Yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff with our wire, Tracy. It's amazing. 21 years later, I'm still like, oh, I can do that? Huh. Hadn't tried that yet. All right, so I crimped to my clasp on both sides as we were chit-chatting, and it is a toggle clasp, so it'll just hook in, and you can find these toggle clasps on our website as well.
Nice.
And here's the front of the necklace.
Very nice.
Ta-da!
That's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
So pretty.
I will post a picture of this on our Instagram and in our VIB group. Tracy, will you send us a picture of your design?
I will.
Terrific. And we will also be posting a blog about TierraCast at some point in the next week or so. Thomas will be working on that so that you can learn a little bit more about this great company located right here with us in Sonoma County, and see a little bit more detail about how things are made and the products that we carry from them.
Yay.
So watch out for
that.
I want to point out, I always say this whenever we talk about TierraCast, but before I worked with Softlex Company, I worked with another local bead store here in Arizona, and I have products in my stash from that bead store, and some of them are, got to be 18, 20 years old now at this point, and they look like I just purchased them.
Oh, fabulous.
They are in fantastic condition. They're gorgeous. I still use them all the time. And so it's really
That's kind of insane.
I know. I pull it out. I mean, it looks like I would have just picked it up yesterday. So it's crazy.
That's so nice. I don't know how you guys do it, Tracy, but we're very impressed.
Thank you. I'm actually taking a picture now so that, I don't flake out and forget to send this to you guys.
Oh, thank you.
That's a good idea. Jean is asking, can this video be accessed in the future? Yes, it'll always be here on the Softlex Company Facebook page in the video section. So it'll live there kind of as long as Facebook keeps it around.
Allows it to, yeah.
And then we will also share it in our blog post that we're talking about earlier next week. So on our website, softlexcompany.com, we have a blog there, and we'll share it there as well. So you can always find it again. Hi, Suzanne. Glad you made it. She just got home.
Nice. Welcome. Well, we really appreciate... Oh, go ahead.
Jean is asking what time my video is on Mondays. So you can find me live on Mondays at 3 p.m. Pacific time on the Softlex Company YouTube channel. So if you don't subscribe to us, just check us out, search Softlex Company on YouTube and hit the subscribe button, and this way you'll know when we are there. Oh, Tony knows exactly what she's buying when payday gets here.
Yay!
I'm glad you've been inspired.
Good. That's wonderful to hear. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to spend with us today, Tracy, and it's just nice to see your face.
It's nice to see any other people's faces these days. It's like come to work and I go home and I don't leave my house, and whenever I have an opportunity to see somebody else, I'm always like, hey. So it's been really fun. Thank you.
I totally know what you mean. Well, we really appreciate it. We love your products, and we look forward to bringing more and more on board as time goes on.
Yay, we look forward to that.
Hopefully we'll hear more from our viewers, what they want to see, so we can think about more new products after these ones. But I think you guys are going to really love what we brought in this time. I think these magnet clasps are amazing. I think the daggers and the spacer beads are going to be a game changer, just for adding that little bit of metal decoration that will make it just feel extra special. and they're all very affordable. So for how amazing and beautiful they are. So you can check it all out on our website, which is softluxcompany.com. The 15% is automatic, right, Kristen?
It is. All you have to do is add it to your cart, and you will see the discount show up there. It is a retail-only discount. So if you are a wholesale designer, you'll log in, you'll see your discounts. They'll be a little bit different. So just wanted to make sure to say that to everybody. Joyce loves the magnetic clasp. This was a really nice tutorial from you guys, and everyone's saying thank you. Sarah, before you go away, can you flip it up to your face, and we can do sort of a cheese pose for the blog?
Sure. I already walked away, but I'll walk back.
I had a feeling you might have.
I have the Zoom running on my computer separately, so it's always kind of tricky to navigate.
I know that it's nice for
Thomas to
when the guys are, to get a picture of us all smiling at the same time.
He says everyone's always squinting, like one person has their eyes closed. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, because one of us will be like,
All right. Well, I'm going to sign off on here, and then I'm going to go end the video, and you can go ahead and keep chatting till I get it ended. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. So nice to see all of you, especially you, Tracy. Thank you for your time.
You guys. It was really lovely to see you guys. Thank you.
So happy to have you here. And we'll just have to bring you back whenever we bring in more products, and we can kind of do a fun show and tell. I think this is really
it sounds
really
like
neat.
You're going to very soon. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I think those
I know that all of the products that we've
going to be good.
Brought in so far have done fantastic. So yeah, we'll look forward to more hammer products in the future.
All right, you guys have a great night. Thank you.
Okay.